Hey folks, I just wanted to jump in here and acknowledge all the attention that my recording of a black-eyed kid has received. When I recorded the video that you're about to see, I wasn't yet aware of all the comments, and I hadn't seen all the support that you guys had shown me, so thank you. Okay, so I just got done reporting this to the police, and I thought I would take this time to chat about why I did that, and I, after last night, I thought it was the right thing to do to report what I saw and find out if there were any other sightings in the area, because it might not have been a black-eyed kid. Could have been just some trespasser, but I'll get into that in a minute. First, I want to apologize for not showing my face in this, and you noticed in last night's video I didn't show my face either, and there's a reason for that. But I feel like I'm getting into some hairy stuff here, and it's not that I didn't sign up for this, it's just that I don't want to be exposed in a way that is bad for me or my family. And what I mean by that is some of these stories that I'm digging into, I'm getting some of this information from places that I'm not totally clear on the legalities of whether or not I should have this information. And the story that I'm talking about is the kids that were arrested in Manchester, the black-eyed kids that were arrested in Manchester, I have been researching that because everybody's been asking me whether or not that story is legit and what it's about, and I have new information now, and I'm making a video about that as we speak. And it's the scariest thing that I've ever seen or heard in my life, and I'm worried that I'm not supposed to be showing this to everybody because of the way I got access to it, which I'll explain in that video. But I think it's important that I don't show my face now for my safety and to just make sure that the stories are about the stories and the stories are not about me. So I feel like the privacy blur was necessary. I've never really had any interaction with police beyond traffic tickets and stuff like that. This is new to me, and so I'm not sure I knew what to expect going into the police department today. I thought I'd be filing a police report about trespassing. I thought that was what I was doing, and it turns out it's way more complicated than that. But the reason that I wanted to file this report, one, is because so many of these encounters don't have actual proof, and a lot of you guys talk about it in the comments that there's just not enough like physical evidence to show that this stuff is really happening. And so I thought if I can file a police report, I can start leaving a paper trail as to like what is happening and why it's happening, and that there's some like actual evidence. And honestly, another part of this is that, like, in case something happens to me, I know I'm kind of playing with fire. In case something happens to me, there will be a record of the fact that these are the steps I took to get here. And I just want to be as transparent as possible at this because so much of this stuff sounds crazy, but it's really happening all around us. And I'm trying to handle like I would handle anything, which is I want to document it, I want it to be on record, and I want there to be like an official report that eventually, you know, people can look at and say, these are the steps that he took. So, like I said, like this, it turns out this is more complicated than I thought it was going to be about the whole police report thing. There's all different kinds of trespassing, apparently. They just explained all this nonsense to me, and whatever. But there's types of trespassing that cops handle, and there's other types of trespassing where you kind of have to call them and maybe there's nothing they can do. Like if you were on a national park, for instance, like they would immediately come and stop you. But what my thing is civil trespassing, and that's different. And what they want you to do is give a statement if it has already come and gone. Like there's nothing, they don't come out and like pull fingerprints or anything. So there are a couple things when I was talking to the police that I kept close to my chest, and I started to say some of these things to them, and they were asking all kinds of questions that I knew that didn't make any sense to answer. I did mention that I recorded this and that they were outside for an hour. They asked me why I was recording for an hour, and whether or not I expected that person to show up. And that's kind of where I ended like the written statement part, because consent is another issue here of like, did I ask them to show up? And I mean, technically, yeah, that changes the whole trespassing thing too, so whatever. What I ended up doing instead of filing a police report was I filed a police statement saying that there was somebody on my property between certain hours, and now that's on file. And their recommendation was that if it happens again, I can either issue a a warning to that person to get off my property and never do it again. I could also call them if I feel like my life is in jeopardy, and that would go beyond trespassing. Going to the police today was kind of a waste because there's a lot of things that they can't help me with, and there's a lot of things that I can't do because I kind of asked for this. And that's fine. That's fair. I don't have any complaints about that. The police have to do what they've got to do, and clearly we're in some like weird territory. So now I guess one of the only things I can do is I can continue to record this stuff, and I can continue to be careful. And if anything gets super dangerous, obviously I can always call the cops. But like, I made my statement. It's on file, and I think I just have to move on. And I'm hoping that there, God forbid anything were to happen, I've made my statement. I did what I had to do, and now I can move on, and I can keep looking into this like I want. So this has been a weird day. I really appreciate all the great comments and support you viewers have shown me. Some of you have reached out with advice as to how I can get better video quality on future recordings. So don't be surprised if I contact you with some questions. I really appreciate the help. Also, a bunch of you have asked for the audio signal so that you can try this experiment yourselves. And honestly, I'm really worried about the safety issues that could cause. And it's one thing for me to try a dangerous stunt like this. It's another thing to just let anybody give it a try. So I don't want to be responsible for any viewers getting injured or worse. I really appreciate all the support you've thrown my way today. So thank you very much.